welcome to Icarus Patchnotes discussion week 169er, and we finally got our 3 respawn in. I'm here with Carlos, so I'm gonna switch over to Discord. Hey my man, how you doing?
Doing good. It's weekend, so good.
Exactly.
You?
Not bad, not bad. It's weekend, so time for gameplay again. Patchnotes and then gameplay.
Yeah, we'll see what's going to be in store, because obviously Echo is unfortunately not able to join us, so we're stuck, well, not stuck, but we're just going to be able to test some small things, and that's it.
Well,
So,
depends on what you call small. 3 regrow is quite big.
well, let's get into it.
Yeah, so week 169er, 3 regrow and the free Great Hunts content. The tree regrowth is here using the localized terraforming device, codename Enzyme Cannon. And also check out the free content coming with Great Hunts. So welcome to week 169er. This week we've added a long-awaited feature, tree regrow. This comes with a new localized terraforming device, which activates a regrowth in a radius around it. Now this is gonna regrow trees that are cut down or have burned down. It's not gonna grow new trees. Now it's gonna regrow the old trees. So basically getting rid of the delta data related to burned trees and cut down trees, which is very nice. We're also taking a deep dive into the massive free patch that will debut alongside the Great Hunts. This patch will offer a ton of new content for all players, regardless of whether they purchase this new DLC or not. But first, we're excited to debut the full-length trailer for Icarus Great Hunts.
Ooh.
So let's play this trailer. Man, is it looking great or what?
It looks good, definitely. It seems like there's definitely a lot more creatures, and how the
Oh yeah.
storyline ties into it, we shall see, because you can't just be told, oh, land on planet and you'll kill the big monkey. So we'll see how they build up the characters and the
True.
storyline and the content and the suspense and all those things as we get
Um,
closer to the time.
if you have looked at the dev stream last week, the NORAD is going to be a new party, new faction, which is like basically a black market big game hunting. So yeah, that's where you get the weapons and the upgrades and stuff. So I reckon, but this is a speculation, I reckon this will be like, hey, we want something from this big animal, can you go grab it for us? And here's a reward.
Not true, but we shall see, because it'll be enjoyable, but it's
Yeah.
can't just be a simple, it's template thing. It's time to sort of get back to the narrative, side of things.
Yeah. Yeah, we saw the Corites rolling around, we saw the big mammoth,
Yep,
some news about some previews of the weapons, the big ape was there again. Yeah, it's gonna be definitely gonna be interesting.
indeed.
Let's see, notable improvements this week. fixed an issue where non-boss versions of the Black Wolf that spawn as part of the enzyme geysers were not counting towards the geyser progress. Yeah, I've heard about this. I haven't run one myself in the meantime, but
No, they
after
have
they
run one, but not
changed,
on
yeah,
Olympus.
well, after they changed the Black Wolf to a world boss, like proper world
Yep.
boss, the ones in the enzyme geyser, they didn't count towards the progress no more, so you could never get beyond stage 1.
Oh, interesting. Well, lucky that we didn't run it on Olympus then, which actually had the Black Wolves spawning
Exactly.
in, so, because or else we would have been stuck with it, which is
Yep.
also interesting.
So I'm glad they fixed that.
Indeed.
Fix an issue where the sandworm's health bar wasn't initializing correctly for clients. This has for me been the case ever since they introduced world boss health bars, where I had a non-working health bar for the sandworm specifically. Hopefully that's now finally gonna be fixed. So if you go in with your knife and you start hitting him repeatedly with a knife, you actually like see the health bar go down.
True, true. Would be useful.
Durability of the railings have been modified, and now they have like the reinforced wood railing durability increased to 750, the clay brick to 1000, the concrete ones increased to 1500, so the better one have better durability as well. Nice. Uh, Updated textures of the German Shepherd for higher quality. The German Shepherd is one you can only get if you have the pet companion spec. German Shepherd is one of the dog variants in that DLC.
Yep.
Re-imported the titanium crossbow mesh with correct vertex normal settings. So gonna look proper again, I reckon.
Mm-hmm.
The railings, the wood
No,
railings, interior wood, reinforced wood, etc. All those railings have now more accurate collision, so projectiles can actually be shot through them.
okay, no, that's so interior wood, reinforced wood. Okay, so I mean, we never tested that with that. We shot at ramps, for example, and I went through some of the ramps, wood
Uh,
ramp.
I've like
But
way back tried shooting through a railing. Like you have a raised floor, a railing on the edge. You try to shoot on under the horizontal part, and it was
ah,
got stuck in the
clipping
railing
into it.
itself. Yeah,
Yeah, got it. Yeah. So
so that
that's what I
has been
meant.
fixed
So
now. Yeah.
got it.
But you wanted to say something about the titanium crossbow thing still?
Oh yeah, yeah, that's the thing. Because I think I have a titanium
Yeah.
crossbow that you made me, right? Yeah. So I'll see what it looks like when we load back down.
Alrighty. Now the big one for this week is the localized terraforming device. We've added a tree regrowth system to Icarus. The localized terraforming device operates in the same manner as the thumper, but instead of replenishing ore, it replenishes trees in the surrounding area. Device needs to be powered, and it consumes either condensed enzymes or synthetic enzymes to charge.
Hmm.
So finally an extra use for the condensed enzymes. Up
Indeed.
until now it was only for like making the bigger statues. Now
Yep.
we have a new use for those things.
We'll see how much it needs to start up.
Yeah. But there's also synthetic enzymes, so you can actually craft them, so you don't necessarily have to run an enzyme geyser in order to use the localized terraforming device.
Well, interesting. And one I would say needs to be more than the other,
Oh,
but
it will. It
it,
will.
like you said, it'll give you a reason to run the enzyme, condensed enzyme kind of
True.
thing. So it would have been useful to have had it like forced because yeah, regrowing trees should be quite an expensive endeavor.
True, true. But at some point, running enzyme geysers, it becomes very hard. Every next iteration of an enzyme geyser, the animals attacking you become higher level. And I'm telling you,
Exactly.
if you have like level 120 plus bears, even when you have the wooden walls with fortifications, they tear through them like they're not even there.
That's true. But that's the whole point. At a certain point, you would move on to a different enzyme user, or you would need to sort
Yeah.
of just realize that you
And now
need to be more conservative with the wood.
there is a finite amount of enzyme geysers on the
Yep.
map.
Correct.
So
Which means
in
it
the
should be
very,
a
very, very long time, a time at which point the open world will grind to a halt anyway. But yeah, then you will have done them all numerous times, and then they become
yep.
basically impossible to do,
Yep. But
and then
that's
you don't have
perfectly
no
fine.
new wood no more,
Exactly.
not from the
And then
localized
you've
terraforming device.
exactly, and then you've ran out of wood because that just happens. That's just the reality. Now it's very unlikely that that makes sense to me, but it just depends on the cost. We'll see basically when we get into it.
Oh.
Nothing should last forever, and nothing does last forever. So
When interacted with the localized terraforming device, it will fire a burst of terraforming enzymes into the air that trigger tree regrowth in a surrounding area. The area, I believe, is comparable with that of the Thumper.
So would we be chopping down the entirety of a forest for us to then regrow? Because it doesn't make
Yeah.
sense spending the resources to sort of, to just regrow 2 or 3 trees. It would make more sense to go, a little bit away from the base and sort of say, okay, well, here is a bunch of trees. We would sort of mark the area and say, clear out all of these trees and put the thumper down
Yeah,
and then
yeah, we
see
can
all
do
of them
that.
grow back.
I mean, for this, it would be enough to like indeed regrow one or two trees. However, if it's worth doing, it's worth overdoing, right? So we could as well
Well, we can
make
stock up on
use.
wood.
Exactly.
Yeah. I will not be using the enzyme, the what you call it axe though.
No, the
The
miasmic
miasmic.
X. No,
No,
we're already
we,
drowning in
yeah,
epoxy.
yeah, exactly. Let's
Yeah.
avoid that one. Just saying. So,
So condense
okay,
and
probably
yeah,
we could probably craft the ice one, the cold steel, the one that makes
oh sure,
frozen wood,
could do.
because we can maybe stock up on a bunch of that stuff because maybe you need, I don't know, that in the future.
Uh, yeah, I don't know. Maybe if ice becomes a building material, then the question is gonna be, will ice become a building material on Prometheus? But yeah,
Well, it's just that they burn slower, and like I said, I've
true.
never really even seen the model for it. So,
It's just wood.
okay,
But yeah,
but
it
anyway.
does burn slower. True. Let's see. Condensed enzymes can be obtained by placing the vapor condensers on top of the geysers, which condenses the vapor into exotics and condensed enzymes. Synthetic enzymes, on the other hand, can be obtained by unlocking and crafting them on the chemistry bench. Now, both synthetics and condensed enzymes can also be purchased in a workshop pack via the orbital exchange interface.
Hmm. Infinite
One,
resource.
yeah, one could say like, yeah, if you, why would you buy it from the workshop? Craft it on the
Easy.
planet. If you can't craft it on the planet yet, do you really want to run the localized terraform device already? But okay, sure.
True, but it is a quickly kind of thing of like, okay, we don't have either, and we don't have a chemistry bench, so I want to run Thumper to see what happens. So does that enable it?
Localized terraform device, not a
Or it
thumper.
also does prevent the blockading, like you mentioned, about a finite resource. Where yes, you can go planet side and then use as much as possible and run the enzyme geysers 3 or 4 times each up until the point where you deem it impossible to actually complete it, and then it's basically like, well, you have, if you still need to, which at this point is ludicrous,
Yep,
then
true, true.
you have to go and spend Ren or exotics in order to buy the per said, um, you
Yeah,
know,
true.
bundles.
Uh, this week, tree regrowth. Bit more background. Icarus was designed initially as a session-based survival game, which players drop down, complete a mission, and then fly back up. Now, a couple of years ago, due to your feedback, we added the open world game mode, which allows operations and missions to be completed in a persistent world. With the time limited missions, there was less need for a tree regrowth system. Like you drop down, you be
Zero
there for
need.
like a finite amount of time, and you get back up. Uh,
I'm pretty sure
So
even if you wanted
yeah,
to, you would not be able to chop down all the trees within a 30-day period in Icarus.
entire map that's going to be very hard indeed.
Yeah,
So
good
yeah,
luck.
tree regrowth wasn't in the system originally.
Might be a fun challenge though.
See how long it takes to cut down every single tree on the map.
Pretty
Oh,
much.
yeah.
Some people will probably consider it extremely boring, but if you've literally stripped the entire map of all trees, then
If you
yeah,
have literally
it,
nothing to do and you're like, okay, no idea what to do next, then that might be a thing you can try. True. But yeah, tree regrowth requires us to rework some of the existing systems to implement. Hence the amount of time it's taken to actually come up with this tree regrowth. Now we decided to introduce a device for tree regrowth rather than a system where players plant their own trees, as the tree regrowing was less complex and it would help optimize performance. If you like plant a tree and then it grows up to be an adult tree, it's adding a map object, so it's adding data to the map, is adding delta data, which is causing performance cumulative. Cutting down a tree is also adding data. Now, if you cut down a tree, you plant a new one, you basically add double delta data. If you cut down a tree and you regrow the tree, net result would be 0. So better for the performance, and I'm very happy for that. Coming soon, Great Hunts. Now last week we announced the Great Hunts Campaigns DLC. If you haven't seen the full-length trailer, it's at the top of this page, the one we just showed. The Great Hunts are 3 separate campaigns included in the expansion, so in the DLC, each containing branching missions that affect your persistent open world sessions. Keep this in mind. You have to make choices which will affect your open world. Some of them will be mutually exclusive. You will be able to launch and play these great hunts from the surface, each culminating in a brand new boss encounter. This is the DLC we're talking about. Now up to the free part. Alongside the 3 Great Hunt campaigns included in the paid expansion, we'll also be dropping a massive free update with even more content. All existing world bosses will receive their own unique legendary weapon, which can be upgraded multiple times with up to 81 combinations of attachments. Like we've seen last week, 4 upgrade slots, 3 upgrades per slot, so it's 3 to the power of 4 is 81 different combos. There will also be an assortment of brand new items to craft on the planet, including vestiges and armor sets. So we're gonna get new armors as well. Cool.
yes, there was obviously the mentioning of the capes and all those types of things. So I think it's pretty straightforward, and especially if you took a look at the trailer, there was a lot of new
Yep.
outfits on the characters.
I have it
So
on my screen at 29 seconds, where the guy is standing with the blue hammer. And look at the spiky part of his armor.
yeah, that was the thing. So he looked like a chicken, a little bit of a chicken, but I
Well,
took a thing. So
I I'd rather
I
fight a
know.
chicken than this guy, to be honest.
The video down just below this does show quite a few nice things.
So yeah. Now for a look at the legendary weapons, paid and free, and how the biolab works, check out the video from the weekly Twitch stream below. This is the Dev weekly Twitch stream. I'm not gonna play it right now. Feel free to watch it on YouTube. They do a bit of explanation on how the weapon system is gonna work, like different weapons for different world bosses. Like you kill world boss, you get a piece of biomass, which you in the orbital exchange interface can use. There's gonna be a new tab, Biolab. You can use this biomass together with either purple ren or red ren to acquire a new weapon, and then you can acquire updates for those weapons, again with biomass, etc. It's gonna be very interesting. I can't wait till the Great Hunt drops. It's gonna be so much fun. I mean, looking at the fun we had with the Hammerhead Slug, yeah, these world
Yep.
bosses are gonna be a lot of fun as well.
And there would be a reason to get it, so because you can
Yeah.
see in the video there's obviously the unique boss resource drop with Ren and exotic costs for the different weapons, and I presume you would buy or make the modules on as well. So it gives you a
Yeah.
reason to run them, and
Oh yeah.
having a reason to do something is better than not having a reason to do something.
Yeah,
So
like you get a weapon first with biomass and Ren, biomass and exotics, and then you buy the upgrades. The upgrades do cost quite a bit of biomass as well, as in like one biomass to like get a weapon and 10 per update or something. So yeah, definitely a reason to keep running them great hunts. Uh, keep killing those animals, keep gathering biomass, and there is like for the wolf revolver, there is a chance an update that gives a chance of spawning a friendly wolf which is gonna attack the target you are hitting. For the sandworm crossbow, there is gonna be an upgrade that gives you a 75% chance to spawn in a friendly worm to attack your target. Stuff like that. It's gonna be interesting to see how that holds up in boss fights.
yep,
Also, friendly fire is gonna be a thing. So, oops,
it
I
already is a
accidentally
thing, isn't
shot my
it?
own wolf.
Oh, on the wolf, yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
the wolf
But
and the
even
worm.
on us,
Oh
it's
yeah,
like, oh, explosive damage. Oh, we don't. If you shoot me, yeah. If you shoot me and
oh
shoot
yeah.
me, then I will hit. So yeah,
There is.
we've tested it, yeah. So
So
yeah.
yeah, there's gonna be like if you do like a mob fight and you have like this friendly animals helping you out, you have to be a tad careful where you are gonna shoot, as not to accidentally kill your own friends, your own friendly animals. It's gonna be
Yep.
fun. Okay, continuing. Next week we're gonna get more Olympus missions converted to operations. Next week we'll be converting more Olympus missions to operations which can be played in open world as a part of our larger project to convert as many over as possible. More details next week. There aren't a whole lot left anymore, I believe like 4 or 6 or so. So,
And
yeah.
then there's a photo of a gun.
Yeah, looks like the
Which
carbine. I'm assuming it's the carbine.
no,
It's not the
no, it's
carbine?
not. I don't think that
Then
is.
maybe it's gonna be the new tier 4 assault rifle.
I think that's the one. Because that barrel's a bit big and magazine relatively small. So I think that's the assault rifle.
Well, you
But
are sporting an
all's well.
assault rifle if you're still running leather armor, but okay, sure.
Magic. Determination. Some people prioritize firepower over defense. A great as some people as Confucius said, a wise man shoots once. I don't know. I don't know.
Okay.
It doesn't matter.
But
Let's
yeah,
get to the changelog. New content.
your support makes these updates possible.
Oh yeah.
It's actually something I've been discussing with you before. Like, Icarus is not really pay to win. Sure, there are a couple of DLCs which give you, like, most of the DLCs is just cosmetics, right? Couple of them gives you some handy stuff like the interior decorations pack, which gives you the geode lights, which is basically a set to forget. You'll never have to worry about fuel or power. Or and there is the creature comfort pack, which gives you like saddles, which give 5% more melee damage resistance or 5% more speed. Not a whole lot. Definitely not pay to
Well,
win.
there is one viewpoint to which you failed to.
And very important, you don't need to own a DLC in order to play it.
Correct. However, in order to gain the resources if you are a solo player and you hate socializing because you're an introvert and everyone else on the planet is your enemy, then the content
Then
on
you need to
certain
buy the
items
DLC.
is, yeah. So certain things are locked behind the fact that you need to buy the content in order to gain access to it.
If you play solo.
Um, if you
True.
play solo, that is correct,
But
because some
it
people
is,
would rather
yeah,
dig their own grave.
but it is
But
not a pay to win. It's not like you wave around daddy's credit card and all of a sudden you're invincible. No.
no, correct, no, but it is it is a better item, quote unquote. It's a little bit
Uh,
subjective, but it is usually a little bit better in the sense to higher tiered armor sets, enviro suits, these types of things. So, but it's very
uh,
subjective, but it's not pay to
like
win. None of this is pay to win
almost
because
all workshop items have a very comparative planet-side crafted variant, to be honest.
yep, I know, but
Sure, the
you
Larkon
know,
Martinez bow is better than anything you can craft planet-side. True. Yes,
I
it
don't know
is.
about that.
Why
Is it?
the damage touch? Yes.
Including the compound bow that we're running around with?
Yeah. The Larkon Martinez is better.
Okay, I'll double check it
Not
because
by much, but it's still a bit better.
I never actually checked. I want to double check it afterwards. But
But that is before you take into account the attachments you can add to the bow,
true.
for
But like I
example.
said, we'll take a look at it.
So
But I'll
yeah.
take a look in a bit.
But yeah, if you do want to support the devs, feel free to get some of them DLCs. Again, if you play co-op, you don't need to have the DLCs, and it's something for which the company gets quite a few points from me. Like, they don't force you to buy the DLC in order to play the content, only the host needs to have the DLC. And then we're talking specifically about DLCs like New Frontiers and Icarus, the Outposts. Uh, but also the other ones like Creature Comfort Pack, Pet Companions, Zebra Rescue Mission, and like if I have the DLC and I run this one, anyone without DLC can hop in and join and make use of all the items craftable in the DLC. They can grab themselves a zebra from the Zebra Rescue Mission, and then they, even though they don't have the DLC, they can still use it. But if you do want to support the devs, feel free to hit up one of the DLCs. Right, changelog, new content. Adding animations to enzyme cannon. Now we were kind of like talking about enzyme cannon last week. What's it going to be? In the meantime, I found out it's the internal name of the tree regrowth device. So unfortunately, it's not going to be a cannon that shoots enzymes at enemies. No.
Darn it. Just when I was going to get happy that I will finally be
Yeah.
able to shoot cannonballs at enemies,
I'm sorry, my
and they
man.
took pleasure away from me. How dare they? How dare they?
Yeah, enzyme cannon, enzyme
Yep.
machine. So basically, there is a lot here about the localized terraforming device.
Mhm.
Um, Basically, adding the localized terraforming device.
And the recipe for the
You
chemistry range.
charge them with 5 condensed enzymes or 50 synthetic enzymes in one go. I'm not entirely sure how much it's gonna take in total. You might need like 15 condensed enzymes or 150 synthetic enzymes or so. But you can like plonk 5 condensed enzymes in one go in the device or 50 synthetic ones. This is from what I've understood, but again I haven't tested it out yet. There's not gonna be like waves of enemies spawning like with a thumper. You just put the stuff in, you let it charge for like what 30 minutes or so. In the meantime, you can do something else, like cut down the trees. And then when it's charged, you can like set it off, and then it will regrow the trees here. To require 30
Yep.
minutes charge time, it requires less than 100 condensed enzymes. Ooh, less than 100, so that means less than 1,000 synthetic enzymes. Okay. So we'll see how much it's gonna need. Will do. We have some condensed enzymes already, and we can always craft some synthetic ones anyway. I will
Oh,
be
that's good.
crafting some synthetic enzymes as well, just to see.
Yep.
Now the console will now go orange whilst it's charging, and once it's charged, it turns green, and then you like set it off. Lightning sparks, smoke and clouds, etc. Gonna be interesting to see.
We shall have a look.
Fix a bug where the blueprint QC horde mode wasn't detecting when spawned NPCs died, only when their actors were destroyed. This will fix the issue with enzyme condenser not progression enforced by that. It must have to do with the black wolves not counting for the progression of the enzyme geysers. There was an issue after they changed the black wolf last week into like the proper world boss. If you ran an enzyme geyser in Olympus or Styx, then the black wolves you killed, they were not counting towards the progress. You were stuck on the first phase. You couldn't complete the enzyme geyser. That's been fixed.
Yep.
Fixes.
Yep.
Updates for the railings. More accurate collisions. You can actually shoot through the railings. Updated meshes and destructibles for building wall, half pitch, upper left and upper right. Okay.
Yep.
Cave light on off switch. Wasn't playing for clients, it has been fixed. Display name of the cured leather head armor apparently was incorrect, which has been fixed. Adding carpet impact and dirt impact to the repair hammer events to account for buildables that can be fixed that are those physical materials, so no longer the silent repair. Repairing without sound. Good. Durability changes for railings. We talked about that one. Dirt, buildables, collision remove and LODs removed. Fixed self-shadow artifacts. Good. Ice Mammoth Corpse has no icicle, so this must be a Great Hunt test branch.
Well, actually, the icy mammoth might just. Oh well, I know that mentioned that they changed the names of certain
Oh
like
yeah, you're
things and
right.
stuff.
Icy Mammoth is the one on planet, and Ice
Yeah, I
Mammoth
think
is
so, and
the boss. So this is
I
indeed the
think
on
so.
planet one.
And to be honest, I think it's like, yeah, it makes sense that you've killed the big, mammoth in the Arctic, that it should realistically maybe have a couple of, icicles on it. But
Yeah,
it might also be
but
referring to the big boss. I don't know. It's who knows.
no, but you're right. Icy Mammoth is the on planet, just planet side one. You're right. It was in last week's patch notes.
Basically, animals in frozen tundra should have icicles hanging off the corpse. That's just common sense. So,
Tier 1 water purifier, mesh not syncing position correctly on clients. Never had a problem with those. I mean, long time ago where you couldn't place them unless you were in third person mode. But I don't think that is this issue. Okay. Dirt mounts is disabled shadow casting to alleviate floating shadow uglies. GL Grasslands small 001 cave template have been updated to improve some buried foxholes behind the rock wall. Good. Masonry benches and an overhaul. Fix the stone position for the tier 3 bench mesh. Remove the resource row from the tier 2 one, causing it to be a toggable device for no purpose. Okay. Durability tier 3 bench has been reduced to 1000. The tier 2 is 500, tier 4 is 1500, so nice in between. The weight of the Tier 4 masonry bench has been increased from 20 to 35 kilos and the Tier 3 one reduced from 35 to 25 to better represent their physical size. Makes sense. So, yeah, basically a rework or polish patch, as they call it here, for the masonry benches. I like it. Fixed bug where items spawned in via the field guide cheat, so this for devs, couldn't be consumed. Hey, you should have built them yourself. But then again,
Well,
it's dev, so yeah, they need to be able to quickly test stuff. Fixed issue where Sandworm's health bar wasn't initializing correctly for clients. We talked about that. Was in the notable improvements.
mhm.
Let's see. German Shepherds, high quality textures, localized spelling be changed to localized with a Z or a Z, depending on whether you're American or Canadian. Added bestiary image for the icy mammoth. Oh, here they called icy mammoth. They added it. So that would
So
then
that's actually the
indicate
boss.
the boss one, yeah. Huh.
Like I said, who knows if you play around with names and renaming things to non-unique names,
Yeah,
you know.
things might become confusing. True.
Yes.
Titanium crossbow mesh re-imported with the correct vertex normal settings. Right, time for the future content. One of our favorite parts.
Well, the more entertaining part,
Ah,
or the more speculative part, or the more interesting part, in my opinion, but each has his
so
own.
less bullet points than last week. So
Yeah, which means we can quickly get through it to get
ah,
onto the break and then to the gameplay. So, let's see.
animation for the Scorpion arrival on Rock Golem gauntlets have been updated.
Hmm.
Halved fuel consumption on Tier 3 cleanser. The organic residue cleanser is a tier 4 variant. Was there a tier 3 actually for Prometheus? I'm not sure.
Don't think I've ever built the cleanser, so don't really know.
Eh. Now, Sandworm Legendary Launcher, the Sandworm Legendary Crossbow, now includes that it launches javelins in the description. To make it very clear for everyone, you don't use arrows, you don't use bolts, no, you use javelins, throwing spears.
Yes. It's definitely an interesting concept because people don't usually associate crossbows with shooting javelins.
True.
That is definitely not sensible. Hence,
Yeah.
I'm thinking it's more deployable kind of thing. But I think they need to technically, yeah, maybe, think in the future maybe to simplify that. But yeah, we'll see.
Well, I mean, like the normal crossbows, they shoot bolts. And now
That's
you have
correct.
another crossbow, so one could think it's going to use bolts as well, but no, it's using javelins. So yeah,
Correct.
make it clear in the description because not everyone is reading the patch notes as
It just
thoroughly as we do. And in say 6 months, a new player gets this sandworm crossbow. He's not gonna look in patch notes from 6 months plus ago like, hey, what's this actually gonna shoot? No, it should be clear in game.
if they changed the name to a Sandworm Ballista, it would have been a little bit better indicative that it wouldn't be shooting bolts, but actually,
Yeah,
like,
but ballista is
it's
usually
something
not
else.
something you like carry around in your pockets. So
And something that you carry around in your pocket usually doesn't shoot javelins. But,
yeah,
you could argue the terminologies, but yeah, it's an odd choice that they decided to have a different ammo variant for this item, which is considered to be a crossbow. And crossbows shoot bolts. Period. Which makes
well,
sense that people are getting confused because they're using confusing naming terminologies, which is fine.
one could
But
argue
then
a crossbow is
it's
actually
not
shooting
expected.
just shooting arrows. It's a bow after all. It's
Yeah,
just
no, they can.
another
You can.
variant
That's
of bow,
correct.
so it should
No,
shoot
yeah.
arrows. Why is it shooting bolts? But yeah, whole
No,
different
that's also
discussion.
fair. No, that's also fair. But usually crossbows do fire shorter arrows, quote unquote, and those tend to be called bolts. And not so much, it really depends on the size of the bolt, but they are in general significantly shorter. because the crossbow is a more compact firing device. So, yes. Hence shooting
Uh,
javelins.
yeah.
Yeah. Anyway.
So Nova Station is going to
Yeah.
be renamed to the Great Hunt Assembler. We saw last week is going to be two different benches actually, one for the missions and one for the crafting or updating the actual weapon.
Hmm.
So Nova Station like to initiate the missions, like we have to contact device.
Indeed. And they've changed critical hit indicators and ricochet audio events so it's not heard when shooting the sky or the things are too far away.
Yeah, if you're shooting
So
in the air, like obviously there's not going to be any ricochet. So yeah,
yeah, so makes sense.
we're gonna get at least 4 different hanging copper pots. Deployable hanging
Ooh,
pots, copper variant ABCD.
it's nice. I mean, kitchens are quite nice. The question is if whether or not they'd be most likely only display or
I reckon, yeah.
so that's maybe just for decoration, which makes sense.
Yeah. I mean, hanging pots, it could be as well plant pots, you know.
Yeah, true.
So,
It could also be. That's a fair point. Fair, fair, fair. Yeah. Immediately my mind went to cooking, but yeah, definitely. But yeah, because it could be like just hanging planters basically for
exactly.
internal decoration. True, true, true.
Added deployment fridge animal. Gonna get new fridges. Cool, cool. Oh,
Yeah, it could be like an old magnet sticker, or it could be
yeah.
something on top of it. Who knows? Maybe like a mouse jumps around and raids your fridge if it doesn't have a lock on it or something. No idea.
The one above, by the way, permit sledgehammers to damage buildings. Oh, sledgehammer is gonna be nice. Area of effect damage, like smash the ground.
No, that's the ice mammoth sledgehammer. I think would be the one. So you'll
Yeah.
probably have your Valheim kind of
Yep.
iron sledgehammer inside the game, which would definitely be helpful, depending on how much damage it does and if it slows or stuns hostiles.
Oh yeah.
Certain missions you
In
might want to
Valheim,
use it.
it is actually throwing back your enemies.
Yeah, true. It does a fair chunk of change of damage to things, so it's good.
Yeah, Rhyme Tusk Sledgehammer. Does multiple
Ah,
damage each hit. So yeah, there's a Rhyme Tusk Sledgehammer. Rhyme Tusk is gonna be the big ice mammoth.
mhm, mhm.
Man, that thing looked menacing in the video.
Oh, I mean, I don't think I picked up the Scorpion rifle image yet. I haven't noticed it, or it might be the second
Uh, I'm,
one that was on the screenshot. But
I'm talking about the Rhyme Tusk, sorry.
correct. No, I know you're talking about the Ram Tusk, but I'm like you're saying that there's a bunch of legendary weapons. The Black Wolf revolver looks pretty cool, to say the least. If you haven't
Oh
seen it,
yeah.
I must say the thing looks pretty. It's a small. Probably depends on the loadout, but it was the image shown was a short, a stub-nosed revolver, which is actually pretty cool looking. So I think you might just get attached to certain weapons and loadouts, so it's more personalization, which certain people would appreciate. So yeah,
Again, you are 81 different combos of updates, eh?
yeah, yeah, yeah,
And if
yeah, yeah.
you grab the base weapon, if you count the base weapon as well, you'll end up with like 82 different variants.
Yep.
I'm not gonna run all of them though. I mean, over time, yes, but not all of them simultaneously.
People will min-max it and eventually find a good combination that works for them. So we'll see.
Exactly. She updates the tooltip, hover for the biolab weapons, the legendary weapons. Allow clicking the weapon to open a full weapon info page. Yeah, handy. Chloride lamp. The barbed wire railings are being mentioned again.
Oh yeah, true, true, true. Mm, they're busy.
Adding that prospector comes static audio to mission that prospector. Like the one, the simple quest where you have to like grab the IDs of the dead prospectors, where you have the radio static, so you can at least listen where you have to go. I do recall back in the day when they introduced the simple missions, there was no radio static on those guys, and especially if there's a bit of undergrowth, sometimes it's just plain impossible to find the dead prospectors. That's where my habit of finding the spare one comes from.
Okay.
And nowadays you just listen. I hear the sound of the static now. I know where I have to go to, and it's way easier to find them. But I've had instances where I was literally like taking down every single bush and every single tree within the circle, and I still could not find all the dead prospectors. I've tried with like building ladders vertical to go up high enough for the foliage to like disappear.
Well,
Still couldn't find
remember,
the prospectors.
I'll put it like this. Remember when I shot the small deer or a baby deer and I was like, it's got to be around here somewhere. I saw it drop in this part over here and I had a good idea where it was, but when I got closer, it was like, yeah, I can't find the thing. It's nowhere to be found.
Yeah,
So yeah, if you're looking for an unknown item or person's corpse that might be
and
semi-blended into the
it is somewhere
area
in
around
this
it,
circle with the diameter of a map grid.
yeah, exactly. So if
Good
that
luck.
was the case, then yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's not going to be easy at all. So use a flamethrower. Just burn everything to a crisp. Eventually there'll be a body lying a little bit charred, but perfectly fine otherwise.
And I still couldn't find them all. Block out cliff pass in volcanic on Purple Quarter Elysium. That for me says there's going to be a mission to unlock.
Unlock it. Yeah. Adding
Basically, like
more
so either
wasted.
the Styx variant, where you unlock a shortcut, or the
Mhm.
Olympus variant where there is a mission to unlock a certain area, which in open world doesn't make a whole lot of sense anymore. But back in the mission days, yes, it was like you had to unlock this mission, and subsequent missions in the mission tree had then that part of the map unlocked sometimes.
Or maybe that's part of the hard locking the certain content. So if you do the
Yeah.
one mission to blow up this mountain, it closes off the fact that you can't destroy the other mountain to make a path towards that boss.
No, but like Olympus back in the days, like you started out with a very limited area, right?
Correct.
And then you did missions and you basically expanded out, and then you had to like
Correct.
drilled through the tunnel towards the in N9 or towards the desert. And if you hadn't done that mission, like the missions before that mission in Mission 3 didn't have access to
Yep.
the desert.
Yep.
So basically, in the mission progress, you like unlock more and more of the map.
Oh, correct. But if you weren't unlocking it, then you wouldn't be able to get to those certain parts. I mean, maybe there was a long way around, but they have to introduce some sensible way to.
That was in Styx, where you could unlock shortcuts.
Yes, but I'm not referring to
Uh,
shortcuts. I'm referring to content and
yeah,
the fact that the
but yeah,
answer
and
may be that
yeah. Well, unlocking
that
the
might depend.
content in that way actually would give you a sense of progression as well.
Exactly, because you made a choice. The world will be shaped by your decision, and it would lock certain content away, and certain content would be made available. Hence, your choices
Uh,
matter when you play through on this map.
yeah,
So you
I
could fight the one boss on this map, and then on the next run, you don't destroy the left-hand side mountain, you destroy the middle mountain, and then you fight the big monkey
yeah,
boss,
it's not
and
gonna
then you
work
don't
that way,
destroy.
I think.
That perfect. But like I
Uh,
said,
but yeah, it does kind of sound like what's gonna happen in the Great Hunts, where decisions you make will have effect on future gameplay in that open world. And if you're not satisfied with the outcome, then tough luck, mate. Start yourself a new open world.
pretty much.
Okay, let's see what else. Another.
Rock Golem gun with
Oh,
proper vertex and normal settings. So the Rock Golem gun, because what was the, wasn't there the shotgun that we mentioned, the Cortex shotgun or something to that effect? So maybe there, yet again, another indication that Rock Golem is the Cortex. in
Quarite.
certain senses. Quarite, thingy
Yeah,
my
it
gosh.
is a
Yeah.
quarite.
So, and setup of assault rifle tier 4 as the new assault rifle. The existing will be swapped to a machine gun
With a
when the
measure.
mesh is through.
There could be the bullet point above, adding the new entry for the submachine gun. The old assault rifle
Ah,
entry is now a legacy item. Points to a
aha.
new submachine gun rows. We cannot delete the old assault rifle entry though, as it will remove the item from people's games. Yeah, please don't
Hmm.
remove that entry.
I would say so, but yeah, submachine gun is an SMG is basically what it is. So
Yeah.
yeah,
And then we will be getting a new tier 4 proper assault rifle, which
might
possibly,
be the image
probably
above.
will fire bullet rounds instead of pistol rounds.
Well, yeah, the rifle rounds rather than the pistol
Yeah.
rounds. Yeah.
Cave bed loot now has its own entry to separate it from Arctic beds. I think the cave beds is the ones you saw flying towards you in the Great Hunts video. I think.
Yeah, could be.
The import rock golden gun. Yeah, quite. Uh, this copper pots. Updating rock golem gauntlet impact punch audio. Um, so rock golem gun and
Mm-hmm.
rock golem gauntlet. Are they gonna be like two different weapons costing the same biomass, or is the gauntlet gonna be like the legendary weapon and the gun gonna be the new craftable on planet? So without the biomass item.
I have no idea. It's both are referring to Rock Golem,
Yeah.
so I know the name might be a little bit strange, but I know there was also the club and or the mace thing and the other thing that was sort of
Ape
also overlapped
hammer,
with.
the ape club,
No, not that one. There
and
was
something like a ape grenade or something.
yeah, it could be, but
Yeah.
it maybe there's more. But like I said, maybe it just
But
completely
the
changes it.
ape
But yeah,
club, there's definitely gonna be a legendary weapon. Looking at the dev game stream.
Mhm.
Sure, might even be that the grenades are gonna be like planet side crafted, possibly without the need for the biomass. Um, and that's basically it for this patch notes.
Indeed. So pretty much going to be testing the tree regrowth
Yeah,
and playing a little bit around, but
yeah.
primarily it.
Well, nice gonna go stock up on wood. Like you said, find an area with a decent amount of trees around. Harvest all the trees. Put down
Mhm.
the tree regrowth device. It is a localized terraforming device. What was it called? The enzyme cannon.
Mhm.
A localized terraforming device indeed. LTD. I'm gonna have to start remembering that name.
Yep.
So put it down. Dump some normal condensed enzymes in, craft some synthetic enzymes, and drop it in. And then basically see how it's gonna look and see how it's gonna work.
Yep.
Gonna be a relaxed session today.
Should be.
So yeah, then we're gonna take a 15 minutes break, 13, 15 minutes break.
Should be good. Can reconvene quarter past. Yeah.
Yeah. So give me time to give myself a quick smoke and prepare the next stream. So Uh, these were the patch notes. I hope you folks enjoyed us going through the patch notes. Uh, if you did, feel free to. If you did and you want to get notified next time we stream, feel free to hit that follow button. Or if you're watching YouTube and want to get notified next time we upload something or I upload something, feel free to hit the subscribe button. Other than that, thanks for being here. I really appreciate you being here. I hope you had a good time, and I hope we'll see you around.